Okay, I'm going to zoom back out again. So now you can see on this side we have all the parts of that leaf, of that design. Now if we 3D view this, that's actually my finished design, and you can see that all this area here that we did as leaves is satin stitches. I'm not a fan of just doing a plain satin stitch, so we're going to select each of those leaves, not the stalk, just the leaves. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have all those areas now. We've got that, 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 and that. Whilst they're highlighted, I'm going to go to Parameters. I'm going to go to my sample menu, and I'm going to select the sample with the line of stitches through the center. I'm going to leave everything else as I've set it and click OK, and I'm going to right click, generate stitches. Now you can see we have a line through those. Now if I do a 3D view, you have leaves that have actually got a vein down the center. Very quick, very easy. Okay, so we can get these out of the way. I'm going to select all those green parts. I'm going to join them into one group, and I'm just going to turn them off. Okay, now the next part I'm going to do is actually this center part. Now you'll see why shortly. And to do that, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to grab my column tool. I'm going to split them at the top here. I'm going to put one in there from this node. I'm going to get that one, put one in there, and one in there from that node. Then I'm just going to move these out to form my circle. Turn that on. Okay, now that circle is too large. I'm following the inside circle, not the outside circle. Not a problem. We can change the size of it. We can use the Alt key to nudge it into place. Now I want to make it a little bit bigger than it actually is, because I want it to go under that other part of the design. Okay, so we could actually select that and generate stitches. And there's your generated part of the design. I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to turn on the one that I did. Now the next part of the design we're going to do is the petals. So I'll just turn that center one off and bring the petals back in. Now when I digitize those actual petals, I just did one to start with. So I'm going to split this, and this is the first petal that I've done. Put the nodes on. I started again at the tip of the petal. I put an edit point there, pulled it in. Put another one there, pulled it out, to follow the shape underneath. Just hit the space bar, select parameters, and I've picked the one that's got 2 lines on it. Now if I leave it as just a straight satin stitch, it is too wide for that area and you will get missing stitches. So now if I generate that, we have those 2 lines forming a nice little design for the petal. Then all you do is like you did with your artwork, Control D, right click and move it into place on this one, that one, that. So you've got your 5 petals. Then you add, like we did with the leaves, you click on that second one and you go to Transform, Create Connection Stitch. You make sure when you have the connection stitch, when it's selected, show the nodes to make sure it is under this petal, and just hit your space bar. And you do that for the 5 petals until you have them all joined with a connection stitch between that one and that one, that one and that one, that one and that one, that one and that one. Okay, I'm going to select them and I'm going to join them together. The last part of the design we're going to do, I'm just going to turn that off, is this circle. Do the same as you did position wise, except we're using this tool this time, and we're going to put a point there, a point there, a point there, and a point back here, and we're going to just move them out like we did before. So I'll just get rid of that because I don't want to do it again, and you will see if I click on that and we zoom in that I have actually picked the pavement design from your fills. Clicked OK. Now, because we did the brown part earlier, I need to make a hole in this circle. I need to make it like a donut. So that all you do is make sure it's selected, and then get your hole. Move that where you want it. Click, 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 click. Move it. And hit your space bar and generate your stitches. When you generate that part of the design, you get a design with a hole in it. To make it easier to see, I'll remove the image. Now if we turn on that circle, because it was digitized before the hole, it is at the back of the hole. If I turn on the petals, they are before that area of the design. And we click on the leaf and we zoom out, view, 3D view, and there you have your daffodil design. Now I will give you the EOF file to use in Embird Studio, so you'll be able to see the order that I did them and how I did them. So if you have problems with my explanations, just use this area here to see the order of the different parts, etc. that I did, and also how the design comes together, so you can select areas and find out what parameters I used. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Now don't forget whilst you're doing this to make sure that you actually save as you go along. And when you've finished, you must go Design, Compile and put into Embird Studio.